getting better. So if it's getting better, then I don't have to get stuck with the old.
Well, what I'm saying right now is the user experience is better. It's easier. That's what I meant. The new feature that will be coming out, and for those of you that haven't seen it, I'll play it real quick. So you always know it's coming out when I have the ability to demonstrate it, because that means I'm playing with it, right? And that's where you'll be able to make these talking photos and avatars, and you'll have the ability to make it in any language that you want. So I just played, which is really effective, by the way, in demos. People are pretty impressed with this. So again, I won't play you the whole thing. Oh, I can't hear it. Second here. I can't hear it. Try that again. Hit my share screen. Where's my Italian? I can't find it. Here it is. Let's see if this will play this time. Okay. No. Oh, it's on mute. There it is.
Vuoi saperne di più? Guarda la demo o prenota una sessione per capire perché Peach, perché ora e cosa può fare per.
Pretty cool, isn't that? So you'll be able to do that in 155 different languages. So that's a new feature that will be coming out. I've got to learn to hold things back and make a better demo of that. But that'll be the next one.
What's the underlying software behind that? The language translation.
Well, again, we use AWS as our language core, and then we built our code, on that.
All right.
So yeah, that's what we find is we try to find big partners like AWS, but then because they allow us to create the experience for us, so that way we own the code, we're in control, and it makes it like, if you notice, one thing you'll notice about our videos is the lip syncing is really, really great. That's a big differentiator between us, and that's our code, right, that does the lip syncing, so that's where our guys kind of shine. And I always think on that last mile of that perspective. So that's why sometimes I know they're working on the big stuff, like the cool stuff, and we forget something like simple, like, share audio or, the breakout rooms. So sometimes it's, we too tend to chase the shiny object to get that done first. But we're almost caught up now with all the basics.
What about closed captioning?
Yeah, we're I did a demo the other day with a company, but it was way too expensive. And so I don't think they're the right partner yet. But there's some cool technologies. The difference between us is if we just did closed captioning on our own website, that would be easy to do. But when you're doing closed captioning and you're doing it on everyone else's website, right, that wasn't necessarily set up or prepared for it, that's where it takes a little more special development. And we have a roadmap, but sometimes if we can find a partner, it really accelerates that, to be able to do that. And no one has seen, like we demo it for all those partners, they're a little mystified, right, how we do what we do. So they certainly don't know how to do it to help us. So, but we do think we have a solution that we're working on. Okay. Cheryl, I just want you to know you win the award today for the most colorful background I've seen all day today. That is very impressive. I feel like I'm in a 1970s movie with that. Right? You look great. Okay. Peter, I thought you texted me a question today. Was it just credits? Is that all that you needed today?
Yeah, I needed credits, which I got. Thank you. That was great. I do have another question. So payments come into your back office,
Mm-hmm.
and then they go into, you can transfer them to the bank.
Correct.
And then, so let's say there's $50 there, and you didn't transfer it, and the next day it's $25. Is that an error, or did it?
Yeah, that's an error. It should just stay there. There should be no deal. I sent that over to them. I'm going to have them investigate that. So
Okay.
I assure you, your money's there. I don't know why it's showing a reduction.
I had the same question, because there was $50 there, and then it just disappeared.
Now you know Well, that's how I bought lunch yesterday, but I didn't want to say anything. But no, well, we are checking that, make sure it's okay. So the lunch
We
wasn't that
want
good.
you to have a nice lunch.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because
uh,
but why do you check that? I mean, it just, where does it go? It just was there and then it's gone. I mean, but at least
It
Yeah.
goes
you
to
got
Steve's
25 in
lunch. He
yours. I
just
got
told us.
nothing.
no, I'll try
Mine
to.
just
I'll try
disappeared
to have it.
altogether.
Yeah, if you don't mind, can you send me an email just so I know how much it was and how much it deducted, just so I can double check? And on tomorrow's call, in the
Okay.
afternoon call, I
All
should
right.
have it all resolved for everybody. Make sure it's restored to the right amounts. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else good today? Just remember, we have our call tonight. If everyone has that invite link to do that. I'm busy working on our special guest right now. So I'm in that.
My
Great
invite
moment.
link, I keep my invite link to the 9 o'clock meeting. It has my name on it. So I'm assuming it's my co-host link and it'll always be the same.
Correct. And the fact that you are getting in with it every single week, that shows you that it's accurate, right? Otherwise you'd get an error message. That's the nice part about the co-host links, is that it would be really a burden if you had to reset that up every single time, because many of you will be working opportunities where you're going to want to have the same host. Meetings will be at the same time. And it's a nice feature that in the recurring meetings, all the co-host links, will just carry over without you having to reset them up. So you'll do that.
Another question. I'm planning a pitch show with content, like a broadcast. And so I'm inviting people on social media to come to it. Currently, it's going to be Friday at 10 a.m., but I'll let you know when it's coming. But
we should
so
do a rehearsal, right? Make sure everything works and that you're comfortable, with the system.
Oh, good. Yes. Thank you. So one question I have about it is I'm going to post my meeting link on social media. So I would say, to join the meeting live at 10 a.m. Friday, click here. And
Right.
then I'll keep posting it around. So my question is there a way when you arrive at the meeting, like let's say I forgot I invited Bob to a demo Friday at 10 a.m. and I'm starting my show and all of a sudden Bob shows up for a demo. Is there a way of kind of sifting and sorting who's there? Do you know what
The
I'm-
only thing that you could do, which I don't know if you'd want to do, right, is you can put a waiting room on it where they come to your scenario and they literally use a button, knock to get in, and you can see who that is and decide to let them in. It's just a lot of administrative work for
I
you.
definitely don't want to do that, but that's good to
Right.
know. So, because one of the things I love about the system is, unlike Zoom, you don't have to create a link every time you have a meeting. You just say, here's
Correct.
my link. I love
Right.
that.
And what is nice is that if you want to do that, you can, as opposed to, us not being able to give you the same experience as Zoom, but we give you both options on that scenario. And just so you know, a lot of you may not realize here, right, in your back office, you see where it says meetings,
Yeah.
and you could drop down to meeting settings. Okay.
Oh,
And here's where you can have these defaults.
I see.
So you see where it says waiting room, and mine's
Yeah.
not checked, right? So for one particular meet, now whatever you do, it'll be that way for the next meeting until you change it. And make sure you have to hit save changes to make it happen, because when you scroll up, save changes is gone. So you may think you did it, but you got to make sure you hit save changes. But all of these give you a lot of options. I mean, we pre-defaulted, so no one has to feel they need to go in and do this with what we think is the most common experiences. But you have this here as one way to do settings. Okay. And then you
Now you
have,
also have use my personal link as a default. You could turn that off.
correct. That's what I meant, is you have those kind of options. And the same thing here. Let me just go. Then also live during the meeting, you have options. So let me screen share here. And like I say, whatever you set up one time will carry over to the next meeting. So let me go to my other browser. I'm going to start the meeting. So you have that settings before the meeting area. Okay. And so we'll join the meeting. Okay. This. Okay. To here. Okay. And then you have settings here. See in the bottom of the screen, it goes microphone, camera, record, settings here. And here's where you have room settings. So for instance, many of you asked, maybe not on this phone call, is if I do a meeting, I don't want my guests to see the participants. I don't want them to know how many people were on, and I certainly don't want them to see all the names. So you see here where it says show participants. You can show it or you can hide it. It won't be hidden to you, but it'll be hidden to them. So when they click on the participant view, the names of all the people won't come up right here. Right, so you can hit hidden, won't be able to see that. Okay. So this is where you have some configurations here. For instance, if you don't want to allow people to screen share on you, like sometimes you notice once or twice it's happened where somebody just shared a screen. That's because I have it where I'm allowing everyone to do it. But I could also just have myself, a host, and anyone I designate as a speaker do it, host only. So these are some of the more subtle controls that you have that I don't really bring enough attention to. But you have that aspect as well, which is very helpful. Remember also, this is where you would, if you want to turn it into a webinar, you would click on that webinar button. This is where that would happen as well. So if you start out with a whole bunch of people on the meeting today and you want to make everyone disappear just during your presentation because you're showing things, you can do that and then bring them back as well. So settings are here and settings are before the meeting, both of those places. Okay. To show you what I mean. So if I click on people here, like on my other meeting where all of you have joined, because you haven't joined this one, I could see the names of each and every one of you here. And also I could mute you. I could block you from unmuting yourself. I could kick you out of the meeting just because I like to know, because you can, because sometimes people are rude, right? You could do that. So some nice options. So whenever I do a meeting, I always have the people open. So that way I can always control it. Like you said earlier, oh, there's somebody making noise. Because I was in this other browser, I couldn't see them. But literally touch a button, I can mute an individual person if I know who it is, or I could just mute everybody in that section. So some pretty good features in that section. Okay. And that, come back here. Okay. Hey, Levon, welcome.
If someone wants to use this for a podcast, you can record the podcast, but you don't get the transcription. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, we can't control, the end distribution of Facebook or Instagram or, or a podcast. The way that people who use podcasts take advantage of it is, let's say I'm broadcasting live and I want to have the appearance that people can join my podcast room in a private room and be in that room with me while I'm doing my podcast. Or I can have a website up that has the website of my guests, maybe their merchandise or caps or something I'm selling. So it's like the high conversion room. So I may be broadcasting to Facebook, YouTube, and like you say, someone's walking around, they're not even watching me, they're just listening to it, they're in the car. But there's some people, like if Joe Rogan was doing this, right? And he had 600 seats, where you can join Joe in the meeting, those would be like gold, right? So that's how I think a podcaster, can really take advantage of it.
But not for recording afterwards, right? Or to...
No, I mean, you could broadcast it, as an evergreen, but it wouldn't be anything unique. We don't offer any value add. Yeah, and that's where there's a lot of really good softwares that have really specialized in certain things, right? There's great podcast softwares. And so the way I look at it over time is I like to look at something and go, how could we bring value? How could we do it different? Just like, with, the hearing disabled or the visually disabled, right? How can I do something that somebody else doesn't want to go that extra mile? So they would go, this is the software you have to use if you suffer that disability, because they really care. They took the time to figure out how to make our experience unique as opposed to just meeting the legal requirements, for the, as that approach. And so it just takes time for me to kind of study something and go and then learning from someone like you who sends me down the right path that allows me to start to ask questions. And then usually it's a combination of you haven't thought of that approach, and I wouldn't have known to even ask the question without talking to you to come up with a really good solution, right? Yep. So, yeah. Okay. Anyone else have anything else today they want me to go over? Special today?
Okay.
So,
Well, my name is Levon Bird. I am new to the platform. Same
Welcome,
time, I was, I've been using a little bit of Zoom and Works and what have you, but I'm transitioning over to this program here, and I want to learn much as I can about it. I see there's some things on YouTube that I was finding last night, and I just want to find out will be my best place to get the best start training if I can move forward with this program.
yeah, and in fact, Levon, let me give you some oversight, right? So the next time you log in, okay, I'm going to log in as if I was you logging in for the first time, okay?
Okay.
Right? So that's the equivalent. That's the dashboard that you would see, except this one is mine, right?
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to start an instant meeting, just to experience it and play around on the platform, you can just literally hit start a meeting, and it's just you and no guests, and you're fine. If you want to play around and have somebody be a guest while you're doing it, hit share first, copy the link, and you can send it to somebody, and they could, be a guest if you want to practice what it's like to have a guest. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to schedule a meeting like you do on Zoom, you hit schedule, and you go through the process, and you'll find it's pretty intuitive. Like the only thing you have to do is title it, you write your description, you pick your day and your time, your suggested length, so your guests, don't get scared. You're gonna, talk their ear off for 90 minutes. Even though if you talk more than whatever it says, it won't cut you off. I always use my personal link, so it's consistent, so they get to know me. And then you can decide whether you want to have people knock on the door to come in, or just as soon as they get there, you're waiting for them, or you want to broadcast this to Facebook Live or YouTube. And then if you want to start a standard meeting like we did today, like everyone just on video camera, I'm not sharing the screen, kind of Zoom-esque, you'd hit standard meeting. You want to start the meeting with a screen share that's interactive, you would hit interactive meeting. If you want to start a webinar, go there. But to practice your very first time, and if you do this between today and tomorrow, then tomorrow I'll take you on kind of lesson 2. But here's what I'd recommend that you do for tomorrow is start a meeting and play around in version 2, because version 1's going to go away soon. So no reason to play with the features on version 1. Go right here on version 2.
Okay.
And then the first thing you're going to want to make sure is, like you see this says my MacBook Pro microphone. Well, I actually have my AirPods on. So I'm going to hit the drop down menu and make sure it's on my AirPods. Otherwise, you're going to have one of those situations where I can't hear you. What's wrong with this software, right? And we're not even going to pass off. Same, so you just want to make sure you're on the right device. You want to make sure it's in blue, cameras on, microphones on, and then you join the meeting.
Okay. Awesome.
So, kind of cool to do it.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop. Just one. I actually did it the wrong way.
There are 2 of you on our screen.
Yeah, because I
2
did it in the
Jamesons
same
are
one.
better than 1. No, 1 is excellent.
We're about to find out. Second here. Okay. All right. Now I'm back. So
Okay.
I didn't share the window. I shared the screen. So let me go back to my window here. Should be okay here. I think I'm in the right one. Yeah. Here we go. So now I'm going to hit what I did before. Start sharing. Version 2.0. Okay. I'm looking good. Now I join the meeting. Okay. So this is where I was before, Levon. Sorry. Okay.
We're good. I'm following you.
And the buttons I want you to learn for between today and tomorrow are the ones on the bottom. Okay, this is just like Zoom. They have their buttons on the bottom, or Google Meets.
Mhm.
So microphone and camera, that's simple. That's if you just want to block yourself out. You don't need to learn anything there, right? Record.
Okay.
Want to record, you just hit record. If you to do real-time voice translations where your guests can hear you in another language, all you would do as the host is hit the translation button, and then you'd hit start translating, right? And then
Okay.
your guests get the same box, and the guests can hit from a drop-down menu. They can choose from 42 languages.
Wow.
So that's
Okay.
kind of easy to do as a host, right? That's what I meant, is sometimes you don't really need a tutorial. You just need to try it once, right? And go, okay. Now, if you want to do a normal screen share like you do on Zoom and Google Meets where no one can do anything, you hit screen, and always make sure you only share from the left-hand side. See where it says Opera tab? It would say Chrome tab or Safari tab, whatever that is.
Mhm.
And you can scroll down and share whatever screen you want. And you get a preview, so you'll see which one you are. And then you would hit share. That's how you share a screen the traditional way. To share,
Okay.
the one I really want you to focus on tomorrow, which makes us special, is this other share button, because this day of screen share, this one is share a website. So you hit share a website, and all of a sudden you'll see this menu come up. Now, because you've never done it before, this will be all blank. But let's say,
Okay.
for instance, what I want you to do is type in any website you want, anyone you know. I always type in State Farm Insurance. Something that looks nice, right? And you can preview it. You can share it where you're in control, or you can share it where your guests are in control. So let me start with I'm in control, which means sort of like Zoom, right? I'm going to share that. It says loading the session. Didn't work. Okay, let's try that one again. Just try again in a few minutes. Try that. Oh, there it is. Okay. I think that's in preview mode. There it is. So this is in preview mode. See in the upper left-hand corner, it tells me. When it says preview, meaning as the host, I'm the only one that can see it. Okay.
Okay.
When I hit standard, that means my guest, and you see it changes up here to standard on the left-hand side. So I know it worked. And see, I'm in control. Just like you would on a normal Zoom, right?
Okay.
Now, I can click on any of the buttons. I could have 600 people on. They're all watching me share the screen. Not a challenge. But now, let's say if I always make the joke that I'm the best State Farm Insurance salesman in the universe, and I want you to get started today, all I do is I hit interactive, and all of my guests, whether it be one person or 600 people, can all type in their zip code, and they'd be able to get a quote in real time. And they do it in complete privacy. No one can see what anyone else is doing. So these are the two buttons I really want you to concentrate on tomorrow, is interactive, standard, and stop sharing. Also, if you hit this star button here, then you can just title it, and it becomes one of your favorites, so you never have to type it in again. And that's how you get kind of your battle, right? So this is like our flagship feature, the fact that everyone can touch the screen. So if you master that between today and tomorrow, then tomorrow I'll kind of show you the next thing I want you to master.
Okay.
Okay, but pretty simple, right?
I won't say all that part, but not yet. I'll get
I can
there.
just tell you. So I think you came on a few minutes late. There was a young woman who came on and I did my first avatar video today, right? I'm so excited. I mean, I can say that's the cool stuff. Is I'm telling you, I could give you 1,000 lessons, but the first time you do it and you realize how easy it is, that's when you go, oh my God, he wasn't kidding. They didn't fool me. I can really do this.
No, I feel confident about it for sure. So
Good. All right.
so
I promise
don't
you.
worry about it.
I always say the great thing about COVID, not that there was many great things about COVID, but the one good thing is it forced people to learn how to do a Zoom, learn how to people do a Google Meet, right? So the learning curve between learning how to go from Zoom to us is a lot smaller than it was from no Zoom, right, to Zoom. So that's where we're in good shape. Okay. And again, you're welcome to come tonight at 9:00 Eastern is where
Awesome.
I'll give an overview of the company. If there's someone that you want to, for me, think of it as a presentation. It's not a training.
Okay.
And we go over that stuff, real quick. Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything tonight?
Hey, Steve,
Over, should I for tonight?
I got
Yeah.
on a little bit late. Were you showing that we don't need to download
Yeah.
the videos now?
No. Yeah, we upgraded that today. Let me show you. So there's the
That's
back
going to
office
take
here.
up so much less space on my computer. It's going to be amazing.
So you see where it says AI. Now we say call it the Avatar Studio, where you go in and create, and then where it says AI videos is your library, and all the editing buttons that you had before only in my my meetings, my recordings, are now here, so you can edit them here. You could do the thumbnail, everything you did in my recordings, you can do here. And also when you share it, it won't say talking photo anymore. It'll share just like the recording. So we made that all match. So pretty cool.
Beautiful.
Sometimes we do it right. Hey. Okay. All right, guys, then I'm gonna leave you. I'm working on our special guest for tonight. And I'm excited about it. You can tell I'm in a good mood. You know, it's like when I create those videos, like I'm having a conversation with somebody. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the moment of, it's like you guys are interrupting my conversation with my guest, you know, I'm creating the script for him. Okay. So, all right, well, listen, have a wonderful afternoon, everybody. And I'll see everyone tonight. Unless anyone has one more quick question. Otherwise I'm happy to stay on. Otherwise, thank you so much, guys. You guys are the best.